Hi friends, Quill here, back with another video about Pokemon Sword and Shield. This one's kind of more laid back, discussion-oriented video. So let me know down in the comments if you like this sort of me talking at you, letting you know my thoughts and dreams and aspirations for these new games. Or if you'd like to see some more news-oriented videos like I've been uploading recently. I just need to get this off of my chest. This video kind of comes for two reasons. First of all, it's easier to put together. I don't have a lot of time. I've got to leave soon. It's actually Thursday right now. It'll go up on Saturday while I'm at a dental school for an interview. So I'm getting ready for that and just wanted to upload a low-key discussion sort of video. Keep my upload schedule going, but also get something off of my chest that I feel like I really needed to. But regardless, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. You don't want to miss any of the upcoming game. I'm going to be doing a playthrough of Pokemon Sword and Shield on the day that it comes out. Specifics of that I'm not quite sure about. I'll announce that later. But on to the topic of this video, and it's gigantamaxing, as you could probably tell by the title, and more specifically why I am concerned about it. So if I had to think about these games as a whole, and about Game Freak's approach to marketing them, I would have to say they've been pretty tight-lipped. We've gone over that on the channel a million times. We are going through a major info dry spell right now, and we're not even a month out. Alongside of that, we get news that all of the Pokemon won't be in Pokemon Sword and Shield, which has turned a lot of fans off of the series completely. On top of that, we have next to no information to make people excited about these games. So when marketing something like a Pokemon game, if you're going to release a lot of bad news, or not even that much bad news, but news that a lot of people aren't going to like, in my opinion, you need to follow that up with a lot of good things about the games that are going to bring people back in who might have been turned away by your bad news earlier on. I mean, obviously there are Pokemon loyalists like me who are going to play the game no matter what, but more casual players aren't going to play a game if something doesn't stick out to them, and especially if there's some negative connotation around it, like we saw with Dexit. However, one of the few things that we have heard that is supposed to be this great big huge deal is gigantamaxing. And my concern is that it's not the saving grace that Pokemon Sword and Shield need. I try to keep a relatively positive attitude towards these games because they do honestly look really good and I'm excited to play them. But I'd be lying if I said that I'm wholeheartedly into the idea of the games, and part of the reason is this Gigantamax system. Along with a significant portion of the Pokedex, Mega Evolutions and Z-Moves will also be left out of the new games. In their stead, we get this new Gigantamax feature that has a lot of people concerned about the future of the franchise. Gigantamax is said to make Pokemon bigger and stronger and change up the entire game of Pokemon, but my concern is that Gigantamax won't live up to the hype that Game Freak is trying to give it. And I've got a few reasons for that I'm going to share with you now. One of the most exciting things about Generation 6, if not the most exciting thing, was the introduction of Mega Evolution. A lot of fan favorite Pokemon, as well as some underrated Pokemon, got these new forms that were exciting and flashy and really powerful and new, and I think that's what they're kind of going for here with the Gigantamax forms, except they've been toned down considerably. Now, like I've said a million times, I don't like to cover rumors or things that aren't confirmed. However, there is some evidence to suggest that Dynamaxing and Gigantamaxing don't do anything besides change the size and appearance of Pokemon, as well as give them more HP. People who've played the demo of the game have reported some doubt as to whether any of the other stats of a Pokemon are changed. But that's okay. Not every new thing in a Pokemon game has to drastically change Pokemon. But I'm going to use Gigantamax Meowth as an example. So here on the left we see normal Meowth, normal Cantonian Meowth, and on the right we see its Gigantamax form. It has grown very, very large. It's gotten a larger coin on the top of its head, and its eyes are glowed out. It's almost creepy how it looks, almost zombie-like. When I first saw Gigantamax Meowth, I thought how interesting this could be if they changed its typing to be normal and ghost, for example. In terms of abilities, I mean, you could look at things like Long Reach or something new that is specific to Gigantamax Meowth. Unfortunately, when we look down here, its typing stays the same. Its abilities stay the same. So if its typing stays the same, if its abilities stay the same, all that's changing that we have confirmed so far is its HP, its design, and the moves that it uses for only 3 turns. And this is where I start to get disappointed, because Mega Evolution and Z-Moves are not coming back. This is supposed to be the replacement for Mega Evolution and Z-Moves. Now don't get me wrong, Gigantamax Charizard looks amazing. I just don't see why it's necessary when we've already got so many other forms of Charizard that are more powerful than this supposedly more powerful version. If it is in fact true that stats don't change and that all that changes is the HP, this Charizard is much, much weaker than the Mega Charizard X and Mega Charizard Y that we all know and really like. Some people might argue that they're changing the metagame to be less Mega Evolution centralized, and that in their move to balance the metagame, Mega Evolutions had to go. But something that was really cool about Mega Evolutions is that it made Pokemon that aren't very competitively viable, like Charizard, suddenly front and center in the competitive circle. And the fact that neither its ability nor its typing changes is just very disappointing to me. In terms of design, I'd say it is better than both of its Mega forms. I mean, it looks pretty awesome, you can't say that it doesn't. But I'd say Gigantamaxing as a whole feels half-baked and a little bit lazy if all that we've heard is true. I mean, again, you look at Gigantamax Butterfree, that looks like a fairy type. To me, at least. I could be totally wrong. If I were given this Pokemon's design and had to guess its typing and its ability, I would say that it is a bug and fairy type with the pixelate ability. I don't know, it just looks right to me. And yet we see that nothing has changed about it. Its typing is the same, its ability is the same. Again, it's gained a bunch of HP, and that's about it. Now, it does gain access to this special move, but again, if you keep the old system in line, you could have very easily made this a Z move. In my opinion, there's no reason to get rid of Z moves to introduce these Gigantamax forms, which essentially accomplish the same thing, just less effectively. At least from my point of view, it seems like they've taken Mega Evolution and watered it down. They've taken Z moves and watered them down and smashed them together and called it balancing. And I'm not totally in support of that. That on top of the fact that all of the Gigantamax Pokemon that have been released so far are either Generation 8 new Pokemon or Generation 1 again, and Generation 1 is getting all of this attention. I mean, both Charizard and Meowth have alternate forms already. Pikachu gets so much attention already, and to a lesser extent Eevee. I'd like to see more come from these new games than more new forms for Pokemon that already have a bunch of them, and more catering to Generation 1 fans. I guess I really don't know, and we won't know anything until the games actually come out for sure. You know, maybe stats do change with Gigantamaxing. Maybe Gigantamax was a way for multiple Pokemon, more than just the handful that got Mega Evolutions, to get new forms and be better in the metagame. I can sit here and be optimistic all day, but the reality of it is, at this time, as a replacement for both Mega Evolutions and Z moves, the Gigantamax mechanic is underwhelming to me. So let me know down in the comments your thoughts on this whole situation. Do you like Gigantamax Pokemon? Are you like me, and would you rather see Mega Evolutions and Z moves come back? Maybe I'm overreacting. I just felt like I needed to get this off of my chest, and I really, really, really want to have a discussion with you guys down in the comments. I want to know feedback. I want to know everyone's thoughts about this, because I think this is a pretty big deal and something that is interesting to talk about. And promise me you're not going to hurt my feelings if you disagree. But yeah, in general, I'm really excited for these games, and it's just that Gigantamaxing is making me feel bummed and making me ask why it even exists. So I'm sorry if this seemed a little negative for my style. It is a little bit more negative than I like to be on the channel, but I felt like it's something I needed to get off of my chest and something that's important to talk about. But that'll do it for today's video, my friends. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more Pokemon Sword and Shield news, discussion, and eventually gameplay. We're less than a month out, so you might as well subscribe now. But other than that, my friends, thanks so much for watching, and as always, see you next time.